Welcome to this week's episode of The Perceptive Readers, a podcast series made in the Product of Culture, aka PoeBooks website's office. Hi, I'm James. Welcome, Perceptive Readers. Hi, I'm James. I wanted to give you a review or update of changes to the website, the changes to PoeBooks.com, or should I make a correction that it's also aka James PoeArtistry. You will see that now is in the meta description and title of the website. The address, the domain PoeBooks.com is still linked with James PoeArtistry. As you know, over the years, I've made several poetry posts, well, more than several poetry posts, but plenty of podcasts and articles and expressions and journals, excerpts, etc., etc. And I've said for many of them that this is a product of culture, creative expression, or this is a PoeBooks.com creative expression, because as you know, PoeBooks.com means product of culture books. Okay. Now, with that being, known, the maintenance that went on over for the past several days, you see, I said, hey, now that it's time to change the name to again help the rest of the newer perceptive readers to become even more familiar with what goes on at the site. You see, it is more than just poetry. It is more than just artistry and music and things of that nature. So there's a combination of what, I've called PoeArtistry, of course, as you know. And so along with that, the theme has been changed back to one of the WordPress default themes for now. How many of you actually remember when I used to have that beautiful theme that was fully purchased, fully supported and everything for a while from the Access Press theme company or what have you. I had an Access theme Pro version. Okay. Well, I still have it. And just recently, today, matter of fact, I looked to see if there was any version, passed on since they had went all the way up to version 3.0. Okay. And I remember they were doing, maybe a couple of more updates, but I never really did fully put them into effect. And it was because of once again, the platform that my website was on. As you know, I was dealing with, again, some extracurricular or internal activities of hackers in that too, that it was really, messing the theme up pretty bad. Well, since I went back and looked up the theme again, and I saw 3.1, I said, well, you know what? Let me, use this again. Let me take a look and see how it is working. I've already installed it on one of my drafting sites or design sites, to see how everything is going to look. And, the reason why I'm telling you this is because if you really did enjoy that theme, which I know, you did, many of you, I loved it too. I didn't even want to see it go, but it was just what it was. I just had to move on to something else. Now, some of you also, I'm sure, are appreciating the News Up theme, and who knows, I may bring that back in the future. I'm just not sure right now, but it's one of those things that, part of my process, I thought I'd mention it again because I haven't mentioned it in a while, is yes, I still firmly believe that a worker, you heard me say this, is due their wage, is owed, their wage. They are deserving of their wage. And so, my process has been many times that if it's something that I've used and it was a free version and it worked great and well, and I just loved it, then, I normally always, purchase it, you see, because that's just, once again, something that I do because, if you're enjoying it, hey, now with that, again, I told you I have the full version of the theme that I used years ago, and I just wanted to say as a FYI, something that you probably may be able to look forward to. You see that I don't know exactly when I will post that new theme. I just want to see how everything is going to look on my design site and things of that nature, how it works. And I may have to, once again, actually read up on some of the features that it used to have, but it was very timely and up to date, hip, if you will. And it just had features in it that I really liked because it helped me to highlight, you see, articles the way that I could keep them always fresh or even evergreen. It was easy to find a selection of articles that maybe I had written even years ago, you see. And with that being said, speaking of the articles and podcasts, there's something else new. It's really not new. It's just that I stopped it years ago, but I continued it now up this week, where I started doing, Holy Bible readings again. They are not, long. They're always going to be less than 10 minutes or even 5 minutes or what have you. But one thing that it will help at least some of you to do is to remember, I remember one time he posted something about this. He was talking about this. So on the podcast, I wonder if I can remember or find what podcast where he went into, you see, details of everything on it, you see. And so anyway, I put as a contact my minds.com/PoeJL link. So that you can, if you have questions, if you wanted to know something, because as you know, I don't talk during those readings. I just do the reading. I have to remember to drink plenty of water beforehand. The last one, the one that I just posted, as I was reading it, I said, oh man, I didn't even drink any water. But anyway, that's okay, you see. So anyway, with that, I've continued that. I've already stated from the Telegram app moment that this will be at least one a week. Posted by Friday, and hopefully a video as well with it on the different platforms. And think about this. I may, read more, but just know that the statement, you see, that you can at least look forward to that I've just made is there will be at least one a week. And normally you see posted by Friday for you. This week there are really several, but I just wanted to let you know at least by Friday you always have one. If you mostly only come to the website maybe once a week, which happens to be on the weekend before you're getting ready to go on vacation or partay or whatever you're going to do, you see. But I know for most of you, the reason why you are considered perceptive readers is because you come to the website every day or something of that nature. And I just want to thank you for that. Now, along with that, you see, keep in mind, there are still series that, came out since last fall from the dark roast or Frappuccino answering, apples and oranges. And, now, the one that I've started called Touchstone series. Now, keep this in mind as part of my, process, that, I've done in times past. And I've always said, before I explain this, let me say this very, very clearly. Have you ever heard someone state, I have not forgotten you? You see, I have not forgotten you. So let's say you wanted to contact me about any of the articles from times past, social media posts, or what have you. You can actually go to minds.com. I know I sound like I just keep saying it over, but still, minds.com/PoeJL. That's POCJL. And, just make a reference of, do you remember this? Okay, do you remember this? It's me, so-and-so, so-and-so. You see what I'm saying? And let me tell you, if I'm drinking coffee, I'll probably remember within 1 second. If I'm not drinking coffee, that may be another story. But the whole point is, more seriously, I remember, you see, many of you, from over the years, even though I know once some of you moved on to your different endeavors, I haven't, heard from you since or what have you. And so if you still come to the website, which I'm sure, many of you do, and you have a question, and even in times past, even when I used to have my other different, social media handles and things of that nature, that some of them may not even be around, but hey, this is how you can still, contact me. And if you have a question, feel free. And you can also feel free to say, do you remember such and such? And then I'd be like, oh, okay. And there you go. And along with that too, if there are some of the series, like even apples and oranges and things of that nature that you wish was more on a regular basis or what have you, you can put that in your comment or what have you. Some of them, as you know, there are methods and reasons to them, the way that I've actually carried them out over the years, you see. And so I just want you to know that I'm continuing to, write poetry. I'm continuing to research other items, and as you can see with the PoeArtistry, it's involving more than just poetry, more than just music, but yes, even things that's dealing with the economy and the running of the world, you see, are continuing to be highlighted and shown there on the website, from serious topics to funny topics to very interesting, even deeply spiritual topics at times. And that's one thing I want to emphasize with you, that I have not changed in that way of really still trying to hold the respect, you see, that I do for different ones, even though my understanding of certain belief systems is not the same as these other ones are. And one of the reasons why, I've continued to listen and look at them over the years, because at the same time, I'm very much aware that growing up, there are still, backgrounds that, and even households that do not have maybe even the same tools or utensils or books, if you will, that was common on the dinner table or the coffee table of other homes as they were growing up. And so you can mention things that you've read from those books, and if someone else has never read them, then it once again just will not have the same weight unless you mention it. And there are certain sayings that people make at times that, I remember at times I mentioned, did you know that actually came from the Holy Bible or the good book? And I'd be like, don't you say? Yeah, yes, it's in there. It's exactly what you just said. And then they may say, well, my grandma said it. Okay. now you know. And for it to stick with you, it had some good feedback, not only good feedback, really the application continued to yield good results, or at the very least a good feeling of confidence. And that's why, you say it, and that's why you apply it. But again, thank you for being here. And yes, you will see now, even in the Google search engines, I'm sure it'll start showing up as you put in popbooks.com or search for the article, then in the descriptions, you'll also start seeing James PoeArtistry. So yes, when you see just popbooks.com, product of culture, and James PoeArtistry, yes, that's all a product, you see, of the popbooks.com creative expression, the name. And so there you go. And I want to again thank you for visiting, for caring and sharing over the years. And you still just got plenty of more good stuff continuing to come out. Yes, it just flows like the river. And so, I got to say again, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. You have just listened to the Perceptive Readers Podcast. Remember, until next time, if you read something that encourages you to improve or enhance your life for the better, it becomes your reality.